You gonna say hey?
Hi guys.
Hey y'all. Yeah, y'all know the video. Yeah, CK know the video. CK. Well, it's not a fun video, but decided to. No, I'm having a conversation with my daughter, and watching the news, entertainment, and we all, I'm assuming, heard about the. See, I don't even know the guy's name. Like, I didn't want to waste time in researching it. My thoughts and prayers are with the family. That's the honest to God truth. But the guy that, you know, did the shooting up in the college town because he felt like the alpha male or whatever. You know, girls, he couldn't find any girls that would date him, and you know, because he was in college, he was only 22 years old, and he you know, he didn't have. He felt as if, you know, girls didn't like him, they wasn't attracted to him, they wouldn't date him, even though his father was, you know, rich or whatever. He was driving a BMW, all of that. It's like we told our daughter, money don't mean you're happy. You know, it could be the root of all evil sometimes. But again, just like I always do, I you know, waited a couple of days and trying to hear more of the story. So I just called my daughter in the kitchen and I asked her, you know, I'm like, have you heard about this story? And she was like, no. And I'm like, you know what, you need to start watching the news more. I mean, my husband gets on me about not watching the news, but I'm like, baby, you know, you know. Anyway, I told her to come in the kitchen and watch, you know, the story, and I would explain to her what was going on. So she came in and watched, you know, a little bit of the story. So I was explaining to my daughter, like I've done already, you know. I was telling her what happened, and I was telling her, you know, that's why you're not supposed to, you know, bully people. Even though this was more about, you know, it was more than just bullying. It was about, you know, I'm going to make you suffer because you don't want to date me or whatever. But anyway, I was just talking to her about, because again, I'm doing this video not just because, you know, this is the topic of the week. It's because it can tie in with the true story. You know, there's something something that was going on with my daughter. I don't know if I told you guys. I probably didn't, but that's why I told her, okay, watch this, and you know, I'm gonna speak more about this in a minute. But I was just telling my daughter that that's why I told her, you know, okay, let me tell you guys what's going on in the Kane household. Okay, there's this guy. Well, this is this teenager. He's 16 years old. My daughter is 13. And for like last year.
Since 6th grade.
What? 6th grade? You was in the 6th grade? What grade he was in?
I think he was like the 2nd year of early college.
Okay, I'm learning something new here unless I forgot, girl. Child, girl, let me tell you. But anyway, my daughter is, you know, she's in the 8th grade, getting ready to graduate. And she's saying, I don't remember you telling me he was bothering you for that long. If I probably forgot, but I knew for like the last almost year, you know, where I knew the beginning of this year, this school season, that there's this guy on her bus that has been trying to flirt. He been flirting with my daughter. Okay, like I've said, my daughter is 13. This young guy is 16 right now. So she's saying it's been going on since the 8th grade, since the 6th grade, 2 years. Yeah, I ain't know that shit. I'm going to tell my husband we can go talk to this boy. But anyway, she been coming home like, y'all, you know, because we always ask her, you know, what's going on in school, you know, everything okay, anybody been bothering you? Especially when I can tell with her attitude, and, you know, has been changing. So she, like I said, at the beginning of this school year, she was telling us about this little boy named Adam. Again, she's 13, 13, almost 14, he's 16. He's been, you know, on the school bus, you say, you know, she'll be on the school bus and he'll be sitting like across from you or behind you.
Like right there.
Like right, like, you know, like 2 seats on the right or whatever. And he'll be looking at her. This is the top of the seat. He'll be looking at her like this.
That was whenever I was sitting behind
and y'all, yeah. That's how he was, huh?
That's whenever I was sitting behind him, because now we have assigned seats.
They have assigned seats now?
And boys on that side.
Okay.
But he still looks at
But he still looks at her like this. Now he wears sunglasses.
And like I see him looking at me like that.
Yeah, he on the bus, he'll be looking at my baby hiding behind the seat. He'll be doing this, making her uncomfortable, and so she, you know, don't have experience with boys and stuff like that. Now, you know, she's the only child here. You know, my son is older, so she don't really communicate with a lot of kids her, you know, age or whatever, cousin and stuff. So she didn't know what to do. She was like, I don't know what to do, Mom. I know he's weird, you know. So, you know, I'm like, you know, we had to talk with her. You know, I told her before this happened, before this shit happened on the news, I told her, I'm like, look, you don't know, and I don't know what state of mind he's in, but, you know, if he's really that uncomfortable and bothering you, I said, you can tell him in a special, not a special tone, but I said, you can tell him, Adam, stop looking at me. You know, don't be looking at me, you jerk. And she just laughed because when I said it earlier, when I said, don't be looking at me, jerk, she just laughed like that shit was so funny. But I told her, I said, don't come to him like that. Because like I said, before all of this happened, you don't know what kind of state of mind he's in. He'll remember that shit forever. I say, it's a way to approach him. I'm like, look, you can say, Adam, what you looking at? You know, what you looking at, Adam, or whatever. You know, and I did a video a couple of months ago. Me and her had to interview to get her into early college, which she was accepted, yay, Lauren. And he was there, and I'm like, and she was like, oh my God, Mama, that's him. I'm like, what? So yeah, y'all, he walked around with a big ass afro, like one of them, like the Cosby gangs, them Cosby kids or whatever, like not afro. He had a big ass afro like back in the 70s. Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell? And it was funny, but when we went to the interview for early college, I had saw him, and he saw us, he saw me, and he saw Lauren. His eyes just immediately just fixated on Lauren, and he passed us a couple of times, and he finally stopped, and he was like, hey Lauren, how are you today? And Lauren looked, and she looked at him, and that's how she handled boys, because she don't know how to approach, you know, how to deal with boys. I looked at him, and even there was like 3 other ladies standing by me with their daughters. They looked at him, looked at me. I looked at him, and we were all just looking at each other, and she finally said, hi. She said, hi, and put her head down. And I'm like, oh my God, that's him. So he walked back and forth like 100 times to make sure that she saw him. And when we was getting ready to exit after, you know, everything was over, we saw him run to the exit and sit on this bench where he knew that we would be, you know, passing him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, Lauren, I said, there he go. And I stopped her before we, you know, halfway down the hall. I stopped her. I'm like, look, I say, again, it's the way to handle him. I say, if he speak to you, you can say hi. If he say, hi, Lauren, how you doing? You can say, hi, Adam, I'm fine, how are you? Like that. Don't be like, you looking at you nerd or whatever. I said, don't be mean to him. And lo and behold, we got to that hallway. I wasn't even there, baby. He was ignoring me. And he was like, he jumped up. Hey, Lauren. Y'all have a good day. No, he said, hey, Lauren, have a good day. And this when I stop again, I'm like, okay, I ain't here. So I'm like, okay. I say, okay, what's your name? Adam, right? He was like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, okay. And my daughter was like, I can just see her face melting, like, oh my God, no, Mama, no, Mama, no. I'm like, okay. So my daughter's telling me that, you know, like her. I said, how old are you? I'm 16, ma'am. So, you know, I can tell that he was a little, you know, not all the way there. Just being honest, you know, he wasn't on the level that you think a 16 would be on. I told my daughter, I said, I realized that instant why he's trying to flirt and communicate with a 13-year-old, because that's where his mind is at a 13-year-old level. Even though he's smart as hell, you know. And I'm like, And I said, so you in early college? Yes, ma'am. You know, yes ma'am. I'm like, okay, how long you been coming here or whatever? And he, you know, we had a nice little conversation, you know. And I told him, I said, look, I say, you know, you know how old my daughter is, right? I said, she's too young to be trying to flirt, date, whatever. I said, I told him, I said, you making her. That? I did. I said, you making her little. Because you had bagged off like a little crawfish. You had bagged off and had your little head down. But I told him, I'm like, look, you know, I said, you making her uncomfortable. I said, she's only 13 and she's not at that level yet that she's trying to court, date, respond to you or whatever. Because she said, you know, he told her, Lauren, you're fine. Lauren, you're pretty, right?
Because like he act like in the beginning of the 8th grade year, when we got on the bus, he was behind me. He was like, how you doing, Lauren? I was like, I'm fine. He was like, yeah, you're fine.
See, he like, yeah, you're fine. So he already, you know, noticed her body or whatever. But I told him, I'm like, look, I'm like, you know, you're making her uncomfortable. She's too young to be trying to date, court, or whatever. I'm like, you know, you need to, you know, she's too young, so you need to back off. I told him that. Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, Lauren. And again, he was listening, but I can tell that he wasn't listening, because as soon as I got through talking that last word, he's like, okay, Lauren, have a good day, Lauren. Bye. Bye, Lauren. Bye. I'm like, oh, Lord. So I had told my husband about it. So, like, maybe a couple of weeks later, not even that long, maybe a week. Hey, I think it was the next couple of days, because it happened on the weekend, we was at the school. So, I think that Monday or whatever, he had went to get her from the bus stop. And did he say something to the guy? To Adam? Who? Your dad. Oh, my husband to the bus stop to pick her up. Like I said, I think like that Monday or whatever. So he told my husband, say, y'all saw him. He said, I can see him on the bus staring out the window at us. And my husband said he looked at the bus and like, you know, gave him that eye. Like, you know, like, you know, putting up his boxes and shit. Like, yeah, I'm Lauren Dad. You know, he just give him that eye. And he said the whole time Adam was looking like nervous as hell. So, yeah, he know that, you know, we know, okay, you leave our daughter alone, she's too young for all that. But basically, what you know, the purpose of the story is, you know, talk to your kids, like I said before, about what's going on in the world. Talk to your child and be like, look, unfortunately that happened. He didn't have to act like that guy, and shoot up everybody or whatever, you know, but, you know, just talk to your kids and say, look, you know, you never know the state of mind people are in. So, if somebody's coming at you, whether it's inappropriate or not, you know, in this day and age, 2014, you can't cuss everybody out and throw up the deuce in the middle finger. You can't do all of that, because you don't know what state of mind people are in. So it's best to, you know, talk to your child and be like, look, you know, this is how you handle some situations. If you are being bullied or whatever, you need to report that shit. Come to your mom and daddy. If you don't have, you know, if you are watching this video and you're a teenager and you don't have a mommy and a daddy to go to or whatever, talk to your school counselor to get some help, because you don't know how to deal with a situation. If you're in a situation that you're being bullied, or you don't know how to communicate with your age group or whatever, like I say, try to talk to your parents or an older relative. School counselors, that's what they're for. And I'm big on this. If you go to like your school counselor, which is their job to help you or whatever, and they like whatever, you need to go above them to the principal or the superintendent or whatever and let them know. Say, hey, I went to my school counselor and trying to tell her I was being bullied and she didn't do nothing. So her ass or him can be reprimanded. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anybody getting in trouble, but this day and age, it's important for you to listen to your child and talk to your child. Because, you know, the guy was telling his own YouTube video that the cops, you know, his stepmom had a feeling that someone right upstairs, you know, she saw one of his YouTube videos and she knew then something was off. So she had called the cops to do a well check on him, and they just went and talked to him at the door, and he convinced them, oh, I'm fine, it's just a big misunderstanding. And the guy did a video after that saying that if the cops would have came in the house, the department, whatever, they would have found all them damn guns he had. They would have found all of those weapons he had. They would have found his journals, you know I can't talk, his books and notes and stuff, planning that shit. They would have found it was on the table, because they say that when the cops came to his apartment, whatever, he felt relieved, like, oh my God, you know, it's over. You know, I'm gonna get some help, because it couldn't, you know, I know everything happened for a reason, unfortunately, but the guy said in his own video that if they would have came in and saw all this shit and stopped him, I won't have to do what I'm planning to do. So he was going to go head on with his next step and kill those innocent people. So, yeah, talk to your child, and, you know, let them know it's a way to handle whether it's a bully or somebody that's trying to flirt with your child or whatever. Like I said, he's 16 now, she's almost 14. You know, my husband gave him the evil eye. I talked to him at the school. You know, she's going to early college next year where he will be at. So I already told her, if this shit get any worse, or if he keep on messing with you, we're going to have a talk with him and his parents and let him know, okay, you know, you too old. You know, my baby ain't at that stage yet to be trying to date in court, so, you know, chill out. You know, move on with that. So, anyway, you have anything you want to say? You sure? So, you understand what's going on, right? How to approach him. If, you know, you ain't got to do anything, but like I say, if you say, hi, Lauren, you know, it's okay to say hi at him. Keep on walking.
What about if I just say hi?
Just say hi. You ain't have to say his name. Just say hi. You know, because again, you know, if he is, you know, trying to plan some shit or he's a psychopath, he'll remember that. And he'll be like, you know what, Lauren, you know, she was a little nice to me, so I'm not going to bother her. But again, you got to be careful. You never know people's state of mind. So anyway, y'all, that's the video. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you take my advice. Talk to your child. And yeah, parents, we got to pay more attention. You know, we got to pay more attention. Like I said, I don't remember, like I said, I don't know if the guy was staying on campus or if he was staying at home or whatever. I don't know. But here in my household, ever since, even when my son was here, ain't no closed doors. I mean, you know, she have a door closed sometimes, but if it's closed too long and I'm trying to call her whatever, I'm like, open that door. You know, what you doing? If you're in the bathroom for too long, I'm opening up the bathroom. I might do this, give you a little warning, but I'm opening up the bathroom. What you doing? You know, you ain't finna have no guns up in here. No knives. I know you don't have no guns, I'm just saying. Up in this house, you're not gonna have no guns and no weapons hidden in your room, no germs. I go to your room when you go to school, you don't know that though.
I kind of do know that.
You kind of do know? Yeah. It's my house. I go through her drawers sometimes, you know, go through her cell phones, which parents you should be doing too. I get her cell phones and I'm like looking through her messages, her pictures, and I told her, if you erase something, I ain't gonna tell her how I know, but I can retrieve it. I know how to look at your history, even though you erased it. I know what you're Googling and your cookies and all of that stuff. I know what you're doing on your. So you, what are cookies? You don't even know. Yeah, that's how I keep a track of what you're doing. That's my phone. Or yours? It's yours? Go plug it in. Yeah, parents, pay attention. Go through your, especially. I mean, here you paying the phone bill. Even if you're not paying the phone bill, and if that phone is a gift or whatever, the computer. They live in your household, go through that shit, see what they doing. So that's it, y'all. Let me get back to my dinner. It's raining here in Houston. We almost flooded. So I want some comfort food. So if you're looking for a good Creole chicken dish, type in Creole chicken on my page and the recipe will come up. Yeah, I'm eating some chicken, y'all. I'll probably pay for it later, but I want some comfort food. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Pay attention to your kids. Talk to your kids. I'll holler.